After installing VMware or VirtualBox, let's start with the Windows 11 installation. We're going to use Windows as a victim and as a attacker machine, but we're going to perform all our Windows practical in this virtual machine, not in the main host machine. So let's start the installation. For installation, all you need is the ISO file. So first let's download the ISO file. If you are a Linux or a Mac user, you can just download it from the browser. So just go with this Google and search here for Windows ISO. Go with the first section here. It will navigate you to the download section for this Windows 11 or Windows 10 machine. It will only offer Windows 10 in the ISO, but if you are using VMware, you can directly download it from this software as well. Just go to the new and you can download it from here. Get Windows from Microsoft. It will download the Windows 11 ISO and proceed you for the installation. It will remain the same for Windows user and the Linux users as well. But because I have already downloaded and saved this ISO file, I'm going to show you the process how you can download it. I'm not going to proceed with the installation phase as well here with this option. So let's go with continue. Let's go with continue again. So you can select which edition of Windows you want to download. You want the enterprise or professional. I selected the professional and I selected the language as English US. If you want, you can change it. It's completely your call. And then you can go with the download section. After downloading the ISO file, it will prompt you where you want to save it. You can save the ISO file and then you can use it for the installation. If you want, you can save it and you can proceed with these few other steps as well to complete the installation phase as well. But because I already have the ISO file, we don't want to waste our time for downloading it again. So I'll cancel it and start the installation. Go with the new, select the ISO file, continue, select the Windows 11 ISO, continue again, go with UEFI. Don't select the legacy BIOS because Windows 11 only support the UEFI bootloader. So go with UEFI, continue. Here if you want, you can select this all the files. You can select this only the file needed to support a TPM are encrypted. If you want, you can encrypt the whole VMDK and VMX file. Otherwise, if you want, you can just keep it default to only the selected TPM support files. Then you just have to enter a password to encrypt your Windows virtual machine. If you want, you can automatically generate it as well. After generating password, if you want, you can keep it somewhere. If you want to use this VMware or this virtual machine for a longer period, but because we only gonna use it for our practical and test phase, so we don't have to save this password. But if you want, you can keep it, or if you want, you can keep it in the keychain as well for the Mac users, but I don't want to use it. So let's continue. So this is your hardware configuration. Your Windows 11 machine is gonna work on 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage. It will have 2-core CPU with CD DVD writer, USB controller with the network connection and the sound card. If you want, you can customize it as well. So let's go with customize. Let's just name it as duplicate Windows 11 because I already have a Windows installed. So I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to store this in VirtualBox virtual machine folder. Go with save and then it will prompt us for the settings. Here if you want, you can change these. So I'm going to increase the processor core from 2 to 4 and we can keep the 4 GB RAM. If you want, you can increase it as well. So here these are the few options that you can modify if you want. Otherwise, just close this and click on the start button here. Let me just drag it to the center. And we will start the installation process. It will only have few simple steps that you have to follow. Let me just maximize it. Now we have to select the language, so I'm going to keep it to English US, or if you want, you can change it if you have downloaded the all language edition of the Windows. Otherwise, you can keep it the default. After that, I'm going to change the currency and time format to English India because I am from India, and we're going to set the default keyboard and input method to English India as well. Let's just go to next and click on install. Let me drag it to the right side. Now If you have the window activation key, you can enter it here. If you don't have, you can go with I don't have a product key. Click on this one, and here you have to select the Windows edition, like you want a professional edition, single home language, or you want the home with multiple languages. It's completely your call. I'm going to use the professional and click on next. Now it will prompt you for the license agreement. If you want, you can go through this license documentation. Otherwise, just click on I accept and go to next. Now if you already have Windows installed and you want to upgrade it, you can go with the first option. But if you are installing a fresh Windows in your main machine or in the VMware as well, or the VirtualBox as well, you can go with the second option. So just select the second option and it will prompt you for different drives available in your machine. If you are using the Windows installation process in the main machine, in your host machine, you may get different drives, but because we are using VMware or VirtualBox, it will only show us a single drive with a 64 GB space that we have selected in the initial phase. So then just select the drive and click on next, and here it will start the installation process. It might take a minute or 2 minutes depending on the system configuration, how long it will take, but it will hardly take few seconds or few minutes. Now after installing the required features and update, it will prompt you to restart your device. If you want, you can wait for 10 seconds to get it restart automatically. Otherwise, you can just click on this restart now button as well. It's completely your call, but it will automatically restart your VM machine. Now let's continue with the installation process. Select your country. So I'm from India. I'm going to select the India. If you want, you can select your other country as well. Go with yes. Just select the keyboard. I'll go with English India because key structure are different for different languages, and I'm going to only use the single keyboard layout, which is English Indian. If you want, you can add another one as well. It's completely your call. Now, just because Windows 11 require your Microsoft account to be configured while installation, if you want, you can use your Microsoft account with the initial installation process or configuration phase. If you don't want to use it, you can disable your bypass NRO, and then you can go with the local account instead of your Microsoft online account. It's completely your call. I'm going to show you the steps how you can configure the local account as well. So I'm going to name the device as, let's say, duplicate Windows 11. So let's just keep it to duplicate because we have character limitation as well here. Let's go to next. Now after selecting these options, it will prompt you to enter your Microsoft account. If you want, you can go with the Microsoft account. Otherwise, you can configure a local account as well. For that, go with Shift F10 to open the control panel, and here type OOBE / and type bypass NRO. It will just disable the internet connection requirement at the phase of installation. So let's just press enter, and then it will again go to the same process where you have to select this personal or the enterprise edition version. If you want, you can also just remove this internet connection from the setting options here. Otherwise, you can use your command prompt again. So let's just go with India. I'll keep it English Indian. Skip. Checking for updates because we have disabled the NRO. It will not prompt us for the internet connection requirement, but you may have to disable the internet connection as well. Go with Shift F10. Now go with ipconfig and go with /release. Enter. Now we have just removed the internet connection from this device as well. Now let's just name it as duplicate. Enter. Go to personal use. Next. If you want, you can go with sign in. Otherwise, let's just remove this internet connection. ipconfig. Done. Close this, select the personal, go to next, and enter your local account name. So I'm gonna enter it as Windows. Done. I'm gonna use password as root. Next, you can enter the password. You can select different security questions here. I'm gonna use this root as the answer for all the 3 questions. And done. If you want, you can just disable these options, but I'm gonna keep it because I'm using it for the virtual machine, not with my host main machine. If you want, you can just remove this. Now, after installation, you just have to do few configurations in Windows as well. Just go to this virtual machine section, and on this select install VMware tools. For Windows you have to do it manually, but for Linux, for Kali Linux, it will be automatically installed in your machine. So let's install manually in Windows. It will help you to configure the size and add few other options in your Windows machine, which will help you in upcoming sessions. So let's install it. Just click on next. Now it's completely your call which features you want to install. I used to install the complete package for this VMware tools, and go to next and install. Now it will ask you to finish this. Let's just click on finish, and let's restart our device. Now let's log in. The password was root, and enter. Capsule lock was on, and done. Done. Now we can see we are getting a better resolution for our Windows machine, and even if we resize the window, it will automatically adjust the insider window screen as well. So for these kind of features, you have to install the VMware tools in the Windows machine. Now, after installing Windows VMware tools, let's just power off the machine. Or if you want, you can install the updates as well. It's your call. But for right now, I'm going to shut down the machine and create a snapshot of it. So the snapshot will be used if we have if we damage the machine in upcoming session. We can revert the VM in the previous stage. For that, we have to take a snapshot of the initial fresh machine, so we can always revert it back to the initial phase of the machine. So just go to virtual machine, go to snapshots. If you want, you can take it directly from here, or you can use these shortcuts. Otherwise, you can open the snapshot window and you can take it from here as well. You can name it as fresh machine, and if you want to add some notes like password is root, I can add note as password is root, and done. So we can always revert our machine in the fresh state. To revert it, all you have to do is just click on virtual machine, snapshots, and you can restore it from here directly. So that's all you have to do is Windows installation process, and thank you.